Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Love what you drive. In front of us is Eric. I met him on Facebook, and he has a really cool Mercury that he wants to share with us. I reached out. He said, yeah man, I'd love to do it. Eric, introduce yourself and your car. Let's take it away.
So I'm Eric. I'm from Freehold, New Jersey. This is my 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis LS Ultimate Edition. I know that's a mouthful, but that's what they call it.
Yeah, we see the badge right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's 05, okay. What is the color on this beauty?
This is Arizona Beige Metallic.
Okay. Now, just talking with Eric, he's done a lot to it, but with a very nice taste. Very simple.
Thank you.
Tell us, okay, let's start from the front end.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done with the front end?
Okay, so on the front end, the standard grille on these cars is a chrome color. I saw a few different things online where it's all black or it's body color. So I went with black just for the fins. I did that myself. Removed the emblem, taped up the bezel, prepped it, and just spray painted it with an automotive black.
Yeah, it looks very clean. Very nice job. Are you a painter by trade?
No.
It's a good taping job.
Thank you.
Okay, how long have you had the car for?
I have had this since December of 21, so next month will be 2 years.
2 years. How's it been treating you?
It's been treating me good. When I purchased it, it had 93,000 miles on it.
Okay.
And I don't mind saying that the sale price, I paid $4,000 even.
Okay.
Back in 21. And now I'm up to about 110,000 miles.
Okay.
And it's been a pretty reliable car.
And it's a Jersey car, or where'd you get it from?
It is a Jersey car. I bought it in South Brunswick, and it originated in, I want to say North Brunswick or New Brunswick.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much been a central New Jersey car its whole life.
Local car, yeah. I don't see any rust on it. That's why I'm asking.
Well, it's getting it's getting a spot here and there.
Yeah.
Which I, try to jump on and, make sure it doesn't go any further.
The Ultimate Edition badge. Now, what separates the Ultimate from, like mine's a LS? What does the Ultimate Edition come with?
So the Ultimate Edition was pretty much the top trim line for the Grand Marquis LS. It had more standard equipment than the LS, which was already pretty generous with features.
Yeah.
But for example, on this car, it has dual power seats, power heated seats.
Oh, you got heated seats?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, which is really good
nice.
In the wintertime. So dual power, heated seats, automatic climate control, leather interior, CD player.
Is it like a 6-disc changer or no?
It doesn't have the multi-disc changer. No, as far as I know, the only options this car doesn't have is the multi-disc changer and the, I think you could get a moonroof.
Yeah, I've seen those, or I don't know if that's newer years or something already.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But other than that, it pretty much has everything.
Yeah, the paint is pretty mint all around. Besides the little scratches you told me about, you would never see him just driving by. Or
I just want to point out I did the bumper tuck on this.
Yes.
I know you did a video on that.
Yeah, it definitely cleans it up.
a really cheap modification, but I like the effect that it has, and it also allows you to see the tips. I didn't put fancy aftermarket tips. That's stock.
Yeah.
For the exhaust system, I should say it's stock. The exhaust system is actually.
Okay, we're gonna take a look under while we're here. So, yeah, tell us what you did with the exhaust.
So this car came with a single exhaust on the passenger side. I was experimenting with some different things. I actually slapped a cherry bomb muffler or glass pack on the single, and it sounded cool.
Yeah.
But you don't really get any performance upgrade from that other than the sound. So I finally said to heck with it and purchased the Police Interceptor exhaust system from, I think it's AP Emissions is the company.
Okay.
And I brought it to a great shop in North Brunswick, High Velocity. I brought it to those guys and they did a terrific job for a good price. And I've been very pleased with it.
Yeah, so now it runs a dual exhaust.
Dual exhaust, it's
It's very clean under there. The welds, the clamps, how it's all aligned. Looks very nice.
yeah, I'm very pleased with the work they did. Because it's basically a stock type exhaust.
Right.
It's quiet, which I kind of like for this car. The two other cars that I own are pretty loud.
Yeah.
So it's good to have one that I could kind of go stealth mode if I needed to.
Just cruising.
I want to point out these chrome moldings. I replaced these myself. The original ones were torn up.
Like mine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're just so weathered and old.
yeah, they were kind of yellowed and there was stuff flaking off of them. So
These are really nice.
I pulled them out, which wasn't that difficult, but cleaning out the channel and making it as smooth as possible, that was some work. A lot of solvents, a lot of abrasives to just get it as flat as possible so that I could overlay a new one in there without it looking all warped.
Yeah. Look at that, straight, smooth. Was it like the old glue from the double-sided tape?
Yeah, the old glue, right. There was tons of it in there, and that took the most time getting that out.
Is that a Ford or is that just like aftermarket, 1 inch?
Just aftermarket, another eBay
Okay.
pickup. I don't remember how much they were, but
That's very nice.
pre-cut, you know, meant for this car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it looks very good. Did you have to pop the bumpers off or no?
No,
Just from out here?
yeah, I did it with the bumpers on,
Okay, I'm asking because mine need a little trim upgrade.
and I did it on the front as well. The front wasn't as damaged, but it was pitted, so I figured I would do the front and back.
All right, I really like this. Tell us about the spoiler.
So I got this on eBay.
So clean.
Spoiler King.
Is that what it is, the spoiler king?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna ask you. Yep.
I want to say it was about 50, 60 bucks in that neighborhood. It came black rubber, and it's pretty flexible, right? So I actually mounted it on the car unpainted
Yeah.
to see how it would look. And I drove it around like that for a few weeks, but I thought it would look better if it was body color.
Yeah.
So with it still mounted on, I masked the entire,
Car.
the whole like basically rear half,
Yeah.
the rear window, trunk, sides, the bumper. I mean, I used like brown paper basically.
Yeah. Like
And just-
masking paper.
Yeah, and just like tape the whole thing, because once it's stuck on there, the spoiler,
Oh yeah, it's not coming.
it
off.
ain't coming off, right?
Yeah.
And then prepped it and sprayed it with the Duplicolor spray paint.
Looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I might have to add that to my my Merc over there. All right, what do we have for the wheel and tire package? Because this is let me show you from the side here what a good fitment this is. These wheels look good, and they have a really nice fitment under the wheel wells.
So this car came with 16-inch alloy wheels with, I believe, a 225/60 16 tire. I don't recall the brand. It might be one of the first things that guys do when they get these types of cars is change the wheel and tire package. So I went hunting on Marketplace.
Yeah.
And found a set of these Mustang wheels from either an 05 or 06 Mustang. And it came with the Michelin Energy Saver tires. So they're not like, you know, high performance racing tires or anything like that. They're actually meant to give you better fuel economy, but Michelin is a good brand, and
yeah,
I haven't had any issues with the tires. So it's a 17-inch wheel. The color on this is called, it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember what it is, but there's a certain color, argent. That's the color. It's almost kind of like sort of like a gray.
Yeah.
The original rims, the Mustang rims, had the Ford center caps, and I was able to find center caps on eBay from a Mercury Mountaineer SUV and just pop those in. At first I got the ones from a Mercury Mariner. They're too small.
Too small. Okay.
So I had to return them. Mercury Mountaineer is the good fit. Goes right in there. I've replaced the lug nuts with something nicer because it just had like very basic ones. And I stripped the outer part of the rim. It had a clear coat on it that was really bubbled and really didn't look too good. So using the aircraft remover, heavy-duty paint remover, I was able to get all that off, or most of it off. And now I just polish them up with mag polish.
And yeah, you painted the calipers, right? Red?
Yes. So I did the all four brake calipers. I did not disconnect any lines because I didn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So jacked the car up, took each wheel off, removed the caliper with the brake line attached, and then pretty much just, you know, a little masking inside because I don't want to get red paint all over the suspension and the shocks. You know, prepped it, a wire brush, brake cleaner on the calipers, primed it, and sprayed it with caliper paint.
Caliper paint, yeah. Looks
you
good.
know, they specifically make caliper paint. It's a high temperature paint. It's held up pretty well. It's been on there over a year. You know,
it looks good.
It chips here and there occasionally, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. I'm also looking in here. I don't see any rust. Like, this is a rust-prone spot. There's no rust here. Look at this. Do you mind kneeling down a little bit for the wire? Okay, I want to show the sway bar. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, so this car actually did come with the sway bar, but it's a fairly skinny one. I can't remember the exact dimension of it or diameter of it, but I upgraded it to the 1-inch sway bar manufactured by ADDCO, and that I purchased off of Summit.
Yeah.
I actually was in the process of installing it, attempting to install it myself, but the links on the original one were so, and it was just so
rusted.
Yeah, I mean, it was brutal. Like, I could not get those things off. I don't have a shop with, you know, that kind of equipment. So I said, you know what, let me hold up. Let me bring it to a shop. Brought it to a place in Freehold called Henderson's. They did a good job with it. But even they said, man, those links, like trying to get them off was,
Yeah.
and they're professionals with tools. So
would you say that 1-inch bar made a difference?
oh, certainly. I mean, handling the car.
Not as much body roll?
Less body roll,
yeah.
Sure. More solid feel to it.
Nice.
I mean, it's still a 4,000-pound body on frame car.
Boat.
But it's a nice, yeah. But it's a nice upgrade.
What size are the tires? I don't think we mentioned.
235, 55, 17.
Yep.
And the stock was 225, 60, 16.
Okay. Cool. What else is there? You said you did tint?
Tints, right? I brought to a guy in Keyport who does tints. I want to say it's 20% in the rear and 30% on the front windows. I don't want it too dark.
Yeah. It's like very subtle.
Right.
It almost looks like mine.
Mm-hmm. I have a car that has like 5%,
yeah.
And you know, driving it at night.
Oh yeah.
It's yeah.
A little
it
much.
affects your visibility. So I went with something a little bit more subtle. The B pillar.
Oh yeah.
So I think starting in 2004, they switched to a body color B pillar. And I just like the way it looks with the black B pillars. So I found these gloss black overlay pieces on eBay. They make them for many different types of cars. It's not a perfect fit, but you can't really tell. I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't notice. You had to point it out that
they're self-adhesive.
It's a pretty good fit.
The B pillar, and then also this this piece here on the rear window.
Oh yeah.
Just so that
it makes it very clean.
Mm-hmm. The most recent thing that I did to this car was I actually put the blind spot mirrors in there. $7. I got a pair of them from Amazon. I do a lot of driving in the city, and people drive crazy.
Yep.
So it helps to have more visibility.
Yeah. These cars are. I had to get used to the length of my Mercury, and always turning over the shoulder. I mean, like the length of it, the size. It's wide, it's long. So I might be putting some of those too, because they help.
Oh, absolutely. This car does have a tune, by the way.
That's why I saw the sticker.
Right. So I have the SCT sticker in there, which is kind of a nod to the fact that it has a PCM tune, the famous Marty Tune.
You got the Marty Tune?
Got the Marty Tune.
Marty?
What's that?
Can you reach out to Marty?
Absolutely. Moe's Speed Shop in Georgia.
Marty Oaks, right?
Yes.
Oaks.
I mean, you get one of these cars and you start trolling these forums, and that's one of the things that comes up, and you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
You read more about it, and everyone says do it. Okay, so I took the plunge. He sends you the tuner, the SCT tuner, loaded up with his tune. You give him the inputs, of course, of the specifics of your car. And it really it's a night and day difference. Yeah, I mean, it definitely wakes the car up, and it's more aggressive. I mean, the main thing you would notice is the shifting, the transmission.
Yeah,
it's going to hold each gear longer and allow you to develop more RPM, and then the shifts are more firm. I feel like the throttle input is more responsive.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not like a huge expense, right? You're not talking like thousands of dollars for this thing. And also, there's a couple of upgrades that require a tune. So I have the P71 airbox.
Okay.
Because of the MAF sensor on that, in order for it to run right, you need to have it tuned. Otherwise, you get a check engine light.
Yep.
And then with the dual exhausts, you also want to work that into the tune as well. Unfortunately, it has a stock rear axle.
Right.
It is a 273.
273, like mine.
Right.
Yeah.
273 open rear end, so it's not a limited slip.
So it's a one-wheel peel.
That's what they call it. Yep. I would like to do that upgrade to like a 355 or 373. So that's kind of like still on the wish list.
Yeah. They're not that expensive.
No.
I think the labor is more pricier than the part itself.
Yeah, and I think I would just swap the whole axle.
Okay.
Which seems less complicated than actually...
Like a Crown Vic or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like messing with the gears.
Yeah, I know.
I can pop the hood.
Let's go.
All right.
So we'll go in the hood. Or we'll go in the hood. We'll go under the hood. And then we'll do the junk in the trunk, if you don't mind. And then we'll go interior. Okay, so most of the work you do yourself?
I do what I can.
Right.
You know, I'm not professionally trained or anything like that. There's a few stickers on there from, you know, came in the box with something, and
it's very clean under here.
Thank you.
Wow. I mean, like, factory clean. Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of modification under hood, with the exception of this, the P71 airbox. This is easy enough. Pretty much anyone can do themselves.
Right.
It's a more freer flowing, takes in more air.
Yeah, it's got the bigger snorkel.
Right.
And missing the other.
Doesn't have the dampeners here, which, you know, are meant to reduce the sound. I still have the original one in my storage unit, but there's not so many people looking for the stock setup, right? The police one is the one to go for.
Where did you get that one?
I got this actually I got it on eBay.
eBay. It looks very clean. Like, there's no scratches on it. Man.
And it has a standard Motorcraft filter in there. So yeah, this was replaced. The only problem that I've had with the car in almost 2 years, the alternator went bad. So that I replaced myself. It's a Duralast. I think it's a 200 amp.
Yeah.
Alternator.
I don't know what that is. Haven't seen too many of these. What does it say on there? Ulitents?
I'm not even sure.
I've never seen like a cap like this. That's kind of cool.
No, it's not a difficult job. It's right there.
Yeah,
you know.
I had to replace mine because it was out when I got the car.
So it has a new alternator.
Did you have to do plugs?
I didn't. I don't know if I had to, but I just did it.
Yeah.
You know, as part of, like, you know, getting buying the car. So I did the
so clean
spark plugs, all Motorcraft spark plugs, PCV valve. Did the fuel filter.
Yeah.
Gets regular oil changes. Right now it's got Castrol synthetic in there.
And what do you run it? 5,000 miles or 3?
About 5,000.
5,000, okay.
And the air conditioning. So that's one thing. These cars are great, but the air conditioning systems can be troublesome. This car has a new accumulator.
Down there, yep.
Because it was all rotted out. A new accumulator. There's new hoses. The blower motor and speed controller, that was replaced because it was just really funky.
Yeah.
But it's still not 100%. And for those of you who own these cars, you probably know what the last piece, the final culprit in all of this is.
The blend door actuator?
It is the blend door actuator. And that's the last thing because, you know, it's buried in there,
Yeah.
right? I can see it when I take the dashboard, you know, apart.
If you ever want to change it, I'll help you.
I appreciate that.
Because I did mine without removing the dash.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I unbolted some of the bolts,
right.
And you gotta pry it open a little bit, but it's not coming out. Just bolts.
Yeah, I've seen, you know, these dudes with the whole thing torn apart.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
So pretty much the way it works right now with a bad blend door actuator is I use a pair of vice pliers, and in the summertime it's in the full cold setting, but default it wants to go to heat. So now I just took the pliers off, and right now you get great heat.
Yep.
But you can't blend it. It's like full heat.
Full heat, yeah.
You know, so I guess if it's, you know, a nicer day, I just keep the windows open.
Yeah, I've been there, man. But yeah, under here it's so clean. You are missing these clips.
Yeah.
Some people miss everybody just misses these clips. But look how clean this is. Like, this is, whoever had it before you really took care of it, right?
Well, when I got it, it was in decent shape, but I've, you know, certainly put a good amount of time into, you know, just keeping it as nice as I can. I did actually replace the bulbs, so it has they're halogen. I didn't upgrade it to any
LEDs or
anything, but they're the Silver Star Ultra.
Oh yeah, they're a little brighter, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice whitish light.
What about the hood? Those hood shock? What are they called?
Hood struts are replaced.
Yep.
Yeah, because when I bought it, it would not stay open unless you put a piece of 2x4 or something in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we replaced the hood struts.
Cool.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
And you said how many miles now?
Right now it's at 110.
110. Oh, it's still a fairly new car. Newish.
I would like to do, because I don't know, you know, if and when it's ever been done, I would like to do a trans fluid change. The shops want like $200 for it. So I was thinking at some point of just, you know, doing it myself.
Yeah.
Buying the trans oil and the filter and, you know, giving it a go. I understand it's a messy job.
Yeah. You'd probably do the oil pan drop.
Yeah.
Change the filter.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to, there's a way to unhook one of the lines and have all the oil come out.
I would be hesitant to do an actual transmission flush because of the age of the car.
Yeah, not a flush. Just get it out and put it in.
Right.
Not flush it like with chemicals that they do. That'll definitely mess it up.
Yeah, I've heard if you flush it at this point, it could be a problem, you know, so supposedly the transmissions on these cars, the motors, I mean, you know, you'll see these with 250, 300 and up. The transmissions, you know, they need a little bit more TLC.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be something in the future, in the near future, just to keep it going.
Gotta ask you, are you a motorcraft guy? Does it only have to be motorcraft?
So that is an interesting question. This is the first Ford product, and I just turned 40 years old. This is the first Ford product I've ever owned.
Right.
I got my first car, 18 going on 19. It was a Chevy Caprice, police package, 1995. That thing was quick. And every other car I've had has been a Chevy or a GM.
Right.
I was in a situation where I needed a car fast, not necessarily a fast car, but I needed a car quickly. I knew I wanted something roomy, traditional, not too expensive. Thankfully, these cars are still somewhat plentiful.
Yep.
They made them for a long time. There's still a lot of them on the market, and the prices are reasonable.
They are, yeah.
Unfortunately, the GM B platform, they stopped making those over 25 years ago. So they've become, you know, you see less and less of them, and they've become more collectible. So the prices are higher. You could still, you know, they made these up until 2011,
Yeah.
right? And
We can close the hood. Move on. So, you needed a car fast, but not a fast car.
right. So I picked this up and I've been pleased with it, you know, and I've just done, like you've seen, a few things to try to make it a little quicker.
Right. There's always tinkering room.
Yeah. You know, I don't think I would do anything crazy like, you know, build the motor or, you know, bolt on a supercharger or anything like that. That's a pretty big investment. If I want to go fast, I have the Corvette,
Yeah.
you know, but this is my daily driver.
Can we look in your trunk?
Yeah, sure.
We call it junk in the trunk because, well, for obvious reasons. And it tells us a lot about the person when we see what they carry in the trunk.
So things kind of flew around a little bit in here.
Very clean.
We got the full-size spare tire.
Smells good in here.
Thank you. I got a bag with jumper cables and road flares in it. Back there. There is a hydraulic jack all the way in the back.
Is it a Duralast?
Yeah, because this car didn't have the jack that comes with it, was missing. Oh, that's another thing I should mention while you're looking at that switch.
Yeah.
This originally had the air suspension.
Okay, yep.
The previous owner took the airbags out and put coil springs in the back.
Yeah, when I was under there, I saw they look new. Mm-hmm. They got the stickers on them and everything.
So that's the switch to keep it shut off. Otherwise, you will hear the compressor attempting to pump up. It's not really going to do anything except
make noise,
make an annoying sound, right? So you just keep it turned off. Got the tire iron, and I have a box of just, I don't know, stuff I use for cleaning and basic maintenance, some tools, stuff like that.
Cool. The bumper's been saved from all the scratches loading and unloading.
Yeah. I mean, this is a huge trunk. I mean, you really can fit so much stuff in here. Suitcases, I mean, you name it.
Okay, we gotta ask.
Okay, so it's not the most bright trunk, so this is just like, can't really see it during the daytime, but it's just
you can see it. It's really bright.
So there's one there,
Uh-huh.
right? And then this is something I picked up probably from Harbor Freight. It's like multi-purpose. Like, I guess if I was stranded,
Yeah.
I could
Okay.
do that, but it has a pretty bright light, so, you know, at night you can kind of see what you're rummaging through.
Because it has a light,
It does.
right? Under there somewhere?
It does, yeah, but I have all that,
Yeah.
stuff in front of it, and it's not that bright to
so
begin with.
dim, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this wired?
Nope, it's just a hook and a
okay.
magnet.
It's a battery. Okay.
Yeah, battery
I thought that was a wire running in. Okay. And what about that one?
This is just stuck on. It's like a self-adhesive, and it has like a little battery cell in it.
Oh.
But
That's
it definitely helps in the dark.
Yeah, it's a nice little LED light. It's bright. Cool.
And
Super
you know, should a softball game ever just break out spontaneously anywhere? You know, I got the Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to go.
Cool. Yeah, man. Do you put air freshener in there? Why does it smell so fresh?
You know what? It might be.
Maybe your air freshener stuff?
I have like some extra ones, and I think I keep them in this box.
I think you're the second one who has a really nice smelling trunk. Second person that I've done a video on.
Thank you.
Everybody else just has tools and parts and whatever, you know?
Yeah, there's some cars that they've had water get in the trunk, and it's all, you know.
Cool. Let's go look on the inside?
Sure.
Let's start where? Where do you want to show us? Front seat?
Might as well take a look in the front.
Do you know the code to your door?
I do. I use it all the time.
Okay.
It still works, which is nice. So,
okay, let's...
you got your
man.
seat heater.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Power seats.
Another one of those little lights?
Another one of those little lights, yeah. If I don't feel like putting the overhead light on, I, just use that.
Did you see the video where I made these work?
I did not. I got to check that out.
You got to check it out.
So that was loose originally. I had to glue it back in place.
So, do you know about the channel Panther platform?
I've heard of it.
Chuck, Panther platform, sent me the stuff, and he said make a video on how to install these. So I made a video on how to make these when you open the door, because you got the courtesy light there, and it runs there, and these now light up with a little LED light.
Is it supposed to illuminate?
No.
Or? Oh,
this is just like a dud.
I got you.
Dead space or whatever, but it's a cool little project, man. I had a really good time making it.
I definitely got to check that out.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that. This car has the lumbar on both sides, driver and passenger. So everything in this car works. Which and when I got it, everything worked.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, maybe it's a rarity.
No rust.
Because usually there's like some little electronic gizmo that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you got the adjustable pedals, which I don't really use because I'm
How
tall.
tall are you?
6'7".
6. Oh, yeah.
So I don't need to use it, but it works. This is, of course, the blend door actuator, which is which we talked about. But all the interior lights, the mirrors, vanity lights. I mean, it all works.
Does your compass up there work?
Yep. And I calibrated it. I drove around in a circle.
Mine just went out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to do with it now. There's a video. I don't know if it's WJ Handy Dad or somebody. You got to solder something in there. It's like a common.
One little thing that I did on the interior. So I believe in 2005, they took off. They used to have the Grand Marquis embossed into the trim piece here.
Yeah.
As they started to decontent these cars in the later years, they took that away. It just looked kind of naked. So this is actually from the C-pillar of like a 1980s Grand Marquis, and I just stuck it on with double-sided tape just to put something in that space.
Looks factory.
Thank you. This is a weird feature. This might actually be the only thing that doesn't work. This is like passenger airbag off.
Yeah.
I've never seen that illuminate.
Have you ever had anybody in that seat?
Yeah.
And it doesn't?
I've never seen it light up.
Okay.
So I take it back. That might be the only thing that doesn't work. Defroster, automatic climate.
The dash is a little weird. I don't know if I've seen one. Okay, so like this.
So this is the fully...
And then all of that?
Fully digital dash.
That's not common, right? That's not... I don't think that's a common thing on the...
This was a feature on the LS and up. I think the GSs were analog. And I think at a certain point later on, they didn't even have digital.
Yeah.
I'm going to point out this little piece of black tape here. That's actually covering up where it says check air suspension.
Ah, okay.
That's going to be on forever because it's disconnected. And I don't feel like taking this apart to just remove a bulb or whatever. So I just covered it up with black tape because I was tired of seeing it. But you could still, if you turn the overdrive off, you could see that underneath it.
Yeah.
These little things, they all work fine.
Man, I've never seen a dash like this in person. That's very cool.
This, certain things would illuminate here. Yeah, so...
ABS. And the brake light,
Yeah. It's pretty much idiot lights. You're not getting a lot of gauges on this car. Although I will say the SCT tuner serves a dual purpose. Once you tune the car, you don't really need it anymore unless you want to use it as a gauge package. So you plug it into the OBD2 port, right? And you could stick it in a cell phone holder, and you could see your tachometer, your oil pressure, your battery voltage, just about anything.
Do you have to have it plugged in all the time for it to work?
Yes.
Or once you tune it, it just stays tuned?
So for the tune, it's pretty much a one-time deal. You plug it in. The screen will kind of walk you through, you know, what needs to be done. It doesn't take very long. The only time you may need to revisit it is if you make a modification to the car and you want Marty to, you know, fine-tune the tune, so to speak. But once the tune's loaded, you don't really need to use the SCT again, unless, like I said, sometimes I'll drive it around, I'll plug it in, and I just want to, you know, check the engine temperature or something like that.
Like an extra gauge set.
Right, you know. Because
like the wood trim.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had a cover on this steering wheel for the longest time because it's kind of, you know, it's got some wear and tear. And a friend of mine was like, this is the only part of the interior that has real wood, and you're covering it up.
Like, yeah, I want a steering wheel like that for mine.
I said, you know what, you're right. Took it off, and
nice.
now I just drive it like that. It's fine. All this stuff works. Speed control, you can, you know, activate that on this side, your radio and temperature, you know, really no problems with any of that stuff.
Are you cool if I have a seat in there real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Wow, look at the carpets. Let me guess, you don't eat and drink in your car?
Not really. Maybe a cup of coffee.
Not much spills. Smells nice. Yeah, I like this dash. Oh, okay, yes. Okay, so yours are here. My buttons are actually right here on the dash. The info and all the...
Right, so you don't have a naked trim piece in the middle like I do.
Right here?
Right, you got buttons there.
Yeah, I got buttons there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, and then that seat has the warmers. No pocket?
No.
No pocket right here. Okay.
So one thing with these cars is that there's not a whole lot of storage. It does have cup holders that come out of the ashtray, and it does have side pockets. But, you know, we're used to on late model cars, you have a center armrest that has like a deep storage bin and all kinds of nooks and crannies to put things. This doesn't really have that.
Oh man, I gotta fix my little... Yeah, there's so much stuff to do. Let's take a look in the back seat. Yeah, look how clean it is. No rust. Is this thing garage kept or no?
No. As a matter of fact, it spends 5 days a week in New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
New York City, huh? Where did you work in Manhattan or?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, okay.
So it gets driven on city streets, parked on city streets. I've had a couple of acts of vandalism on it, the scratch on the door. So that's, you know, one of the hazards of having a car in the city is it's going to get nicks and scratches, and occasionally, you know, somebody will get angry at you. And
That's New York, yep.
Yeah, you know. But otherwise, it's been very reliable. City traffic, cruising the highways, you know, whatever I needed to do. And the gas mileage is respectable.
It is.
The combined is usually about 19-20 for me. I've taken some highway trips where I've gotten it into the upper 20s.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting like crushed by just like bumper to bumper city traffic, it's going to drop down to like around 15.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for a ride?
Yeah. I think that's all we have left to do. We went inside, outside, underneath. Now we gotta go for a ride. Everything's just so crisp about this car.
Thank you.
Like, even that, just opened the door handle, and it was like so crisp.
Oh, there is one thing with the door handle. The doors actually that does need to be. So I need to get to someday. The door checks. The door checks are weak, so like it should kind of hold.
Oh yeah.
If you're on an angle, you'll notice it more. Like they tend to want to close. but they do wear out after.
Is that what they're called? Door checks?
Yeah.
It's nice. I think we have the same color of interior.
This is the, I know the word parchment is in there. I don't know if it's the light parchment or medium parchment, but by this time, they only gave you 3 interior colors. Not like it was in the 80s where you had like a red interior, a blue interior, you know, in the 70s it was green interiors.
Oh yeah, all the cool funky colors.
You know? So, yeah, we'll take it for a spin.
So you're 6'7"?
Yeah.
Enough legroom for you?
Definitely. You know, the rear seats in these cars, though, as big as these cars are, the rear seats are not quite as generous as you would think.
For your size.
For my size, right. For, you know, when my mom rides in the back seat, she's got plenty of room. She's 5'4".
So right now, is it on the Marty Tune?
Yes. 87 octane.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 93 octane tune loaded into the tuner. But with the price of gas, I just can't justify, you know, $4 a gallon, you know, for a little more performance.
Yeah. I think they do very well. Oh, yeah.
I like the police airbox because it gives you, you know, a nice induction sound when you're accelerating. Speaking of gasoline, my Corvette requires 93 octane, so I figure I have one car already running premium. I don't.
What is your other car?
The Corvette.
No, your other one.
I have an 87
Yeah, that one.
Cougar. 1987 Cougar, the 20th anniversary edition. So it's the Cabernet Red. It's got gold trim, the 5-liter 302 engine.
Mm-hmm.
Another marketplace find. I picked it up, and it's pretty cool. The previous owner removed the cats, so it has no catalytic converters. It's loud. It's got the Flowmaster exhausts, shorty headers. It makes the most of what it's got, you know, for a 1987 car.
Yeah, I think we want to do a video on that in the near future.
I would love to. It's a little bit of a project because it has, you know, a few things here and there that it needs, but that's another car. It's 36 years old now, and almost everything works.
Yeah.
It has heated seats. It had a lot of stuff in it for its time.
Man, I feel those shifts. They're so crisp and like short.
Yeah.
Like boom, boom. They're just knocking the gears out.
One of the things you can request when you're doing the Marty Tune, he'll ask you, you know, how firm do you want your shifts?
Yeah.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10. And apparently most people go with a 7 out of 10, and I said, okay, we'll do 7 out of 10. And, you know, you feel it. It makes me curious, though, what like a 10 out of 10 would be.
Now, do you gotta get back to Marty on that, or can you do it on the tuner yourself?
I would contact him for any modifications or anything like that. The guy is definitely a master at what he does.
Shout out to Marty. Yeah, there's a lot of good reports about Marty out there.
And he's very responsive and very helpful, and you know he spends his time. I needed a little help with something. One day, it was like a Saturday, and he had me. We were on the laptop doing a data log or something. I don't even understand this stuff, but he does. And it was just what the car needed, and you know, he's a cool guy. I mean, he's down in Georgia. I would say if he was closer, you know, I would bring my car to him for just about everything. You know?
And he's mainly just Ford guy, right?
Yeah, that's his specialty.
Ford.
Here it has a nice sound
good.
with that airbox in it.
You know, my Mercury came with a single exhaust. I found on, I think it was a Crown Vic dual exhaust, OEM. Had a guy welded it up, and I take the rear caps off. It drives nice.
So you don't have the rear caps?
Yeah,
okay.
It drives nice. It's quiet, but it does. So factory single exhaust to a dual exhaust is 15 horsepower. That's a Ford factory statement that they. So I'm sure you woke yours up with the duals and P71 intake and the Marty Tune. This thing drives nice.
Thank you. We just passed by the inspection, but I figured we'd drive a few more minutes.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Such a, you know, those shifts are really on point.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference. In the stock formation, you know, because it's designed for economy, the car is going to like look for to shift to second as soon as possible, and then to third as soon as possible, you know, to try to, you know, to be more economical. With this, you notice it a lot when you're driving at lower speeds. If you're just kind of like in city traffic, like you hear, you know, the RPM's getting up pretty high because you're holding first gear before it goes into second gear. So with these modifications, not major ones, but, you know, modifications, it's got to be getting more than that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's at about 250 in the horsepower. So that's got to be good for something, you know, as far as 0 to 60 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a V8. And if you give it more room to breathe and more room to exhaust and dump more fuel in there.
Oh, yeah, it helps.
It definitely, yeah. So those wheels and tires, they're 17s by 8 or 9, do you know?
17 by 8.
By 8? It's a pretty good fit. Because I know some of the Mustangs are wheels, most of them are like 9-inch wides.
Yeah, I know some of them, certain years and certain types of wheels, you have to use spacers.
Yeah.
You have to make adjustments to it. Thankfully, these just, you know, they bolted right on. And the guy who sold them to me, he mounted and bounced them right there in front of me, so I was able to just drive away. One thing that's not on the car at the moment that I used to do is I used to use like an oil marker, and I used to fill in the letters, the Michelin letters, to make white letter.
Oh, okay.
But it holds up okay to the elements, but for me, it was like parking in the city, just rubbing up against the curb a little bit, and that's it. It's over. You know,
They
then
came
you gotta,
off, huh?
and then you gotta do it all over again, and you know, I don't think, like, the white letter tires was a bigger thing in the olden days. I don't think they make white letter tires for this size.
Yeah.
So I did it myself for a little while, but it was too much upkeep. Now I have pictures of it with the white letters, and it looks pretty cool, but
A little like an accessory edition.
yeah.
You want to swing it around and put in the shade? I'll take some good photos for the thumbnail.
Is this good here, or?
Pull up a little more.
That's fine.
Yeah, you could just park it like this. Sun's out. I mean, yeah, that's good. Well, Eric, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah. This video will air tomorrow, which is Sunday. Thanksgiving weekend, you can say. And I'm sure people are going to love your car.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is such a cool thing, you know, keeping car culture alive and focusing on, you know, cars that, you know, everybody knows about, the Camaros and the, you know, the Corvettes and the Mustangs, but, you know, these cars, the Panther platform, they have a following.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was in for, you know, when I bought one of these, like seeing the community that it has and just, it's like endless, like the things you can do. Now you got me thinking about that reflector.
You got to watch it, man.
You know, but it's like the little things like that when you own a car like this, like you just want to, you know, you want to tinker with, or you want to do to try to, you know, customize it.
Yeah. Thanks, man. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And as always, love what you drive. We'll see you in the next one.